on your necks. Talking the talk with Kate and Jim. I'm walking the walk, just listening. The perfect match, Kate and Jim. Getting at it, Kate and Jim. I'm gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter. Mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, Kate and Jim. Getting at it, Kate and Jim. I'm gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter. Mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let you stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, Kate and Jim. Getting at it, Kate and Jim. I'm gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter. Mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jimbo always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter. Mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jim always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue and let you stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Sunday. It's the 24th of November. It's a month until Christmas Eve. And I had to do an emergency stream because I think there's a glitch in the matrix, because Tottenham don't beat people away and Man City don't lose at home. But I had this dream that we lost, that we beat Manchester City 4-0 at the Etihad, and I thought this can't be true. So I thought I'd better do a stream with Jimbo and see if it can shed some light on what's going on. Is there a glitch in the matrix, Jimbo? What's happening?
No, there's definitely not a glitch. We are Tottenham and we kick their backsides. But this stream is not about Ange in. It's not about Ange out. It's about enjoying yesterday.
Exactly. Look, that's exactly right. Wherever you stand on the manager, wherever you stand on the ownership, wherever you stand on the team, we've got to enjoy these wins. They don't come very often. A 4-0 win, 52 games unbeaten at home for Manchester City until Spurs come and knock on their door. The first team, the first reigning champions to ever lose 5 games on the spin.
We was 2 of them.
Yeah, and we was 2 of them. Exactly that. Let's have a look who's in the chat before we kick on. We got On Your Bike, Scott. Big up to you. Hope you're well. We have got Erwin. Lovely to see you, Erwin. Hope you're good. Ronnie's in the house. Big up, Ronnie. AJ's here. Lovely to see you, AJ. Wayne Bonner says, good morning, everyone. Hope you've all recovered from the night before. As a wise man says, come on, you fucking Spurs. Superb team performance. Kulu's my man in the match. Yeah, we will delve into all these things shortly. Big up, Graham. Good to see you. We've got Meow Kabar saying good day, you beautiful couple. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Paul G. Mystic Jimbo, indeed. Indeedly do. Mystic Jimbo. Drew Lala says, how are we all on this fine Sunday morning? Who would have known we would have smashed City by 4 goals away from home? Oh, wait. Jimbo would. In Jimbo, I trust. Look, can we just not make his head too big? Remember, I have to live with this man, and I've listened to this since yesterday. So let's not make it too much bigger his head, please. Big up, George. So love the intro. Thank you very much. Simon Hill's in the house. said, although Maddison got man of the match for me, Kulu was. I can't disagree with that. Smash up those likes like we smashed City. Yes, Drew, like you tell them. GBC fans here, big up to you. Yogi Bear says, to be honest, I think anyone that thinks Kulu isn't the best midfielder in the Premier League so far this season is mad. There's certainly that argument to be had without any shadow of a doubt. We've got Designed to Win saying afternoon Kate Jimbo, not a bad result. Yeah, it weren't bad. Average. GBC says the City game is exactly why I haven't been Ange out. Yep. Wayne Bonner says, and how damn good were Davis and Dragushin yesterday? Best performance I've seen in a while. Yeah, I mean, amazing. I can't praise them enough. Future Music says, come on. Enjoyed that one. Luke and Dan, big up to you, says, this is a stream I've been waiting for. We won, and some streams are so depressing, the best Spurs stream. Thank you very much, Dan. We will try and keep the mood upbeat. There's nothing to be depressed about. Life is good. Ronnie says, should have been joint man of the match for me. Maddison and Kulu were both superb. Tottenham Rangers saying Pep's out of his depth. This isn't La Liga. He needs to learn to adapt. I love it. And as you can see, the title of the show is Ange's Broken Pep, because as Jimbo rightly said on Friday, we started this bad run and we're going to continue it. And Jimbo, although your score was slightly off, you were spot on.
Well, someone did say we'd lose 4-0. And I said, if anyone's going to lose 4-0, it's going to be City. So I've kind of got it right in a way. But look, I'm not a football expert by any means. I've watched football a long time. 55 years I've watched football. Probably, I know a little bit. And I am over zealous, is it, when it comes to Spurs?
Yes.
Is that the right word?
Mm-hmm.
But I just look at the when Tottenham play certain teams, you know, we struggle against the lower clubs because the way they play, they close in like a pack, and we find it so hard to get through them. But when we play the bigger teams that like to attack us and go at us, we always do well. And I was so confident against City. And when I see people write that we're going to get battered, I can't get my head around it because the history tells you, you know. I said it the other day, 58 games since 1995. We've won 27, they've won 22. Last 5 games, it's been 2-2 and 1 draw. So why anyone would think we was going to get battered by them? Maybe I do overdo it with my score lines, but I love it. That's the way it makes me happy to do that. And I just knew we'd do well against them, Kate. And it proved that we did. I'm not trying to be big-headed because I get loads of more scores wrong than I get right. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's such a buzz when you get it right.
Spot on Drew to a top professional. Yeah, we will get into each individual player shortly. It's one of those shows where you literally, there's not really anything bad to say. I can't pick out anyone and say anything bad about anyone. I thought everybody was epic on their day. Just an example. Let me just read this out. Luton Dan said, last time Ipswich were in the Prem, they'd done the double over us and still got relegated. Spurs haven't been consistent for many years. Yep, yeah, exactly right. And we've got Phil P coming and say, woo, Mystic Jimbo. Big up, Phil. And the legend that is Chris Agenbar as well. Big up, Chris. This is the media agenda. Sky Sports this morning said it is important not to forget that this is Man City without Rodri. However, they failed to mention that Tottenham are without Bentancur, Romero, Van der Ven, no Richarlison, no Odegaard, no Mikey Moore, and 5 teenagers were in the matchday squad, and we had a left-back playing centre-back. And I think, Jimbo, we said last night, you know, the media is going to be all about how poor City were rather than giving props to just how good Spurs were.
Look, let's put it in perspective, right? I've watched the game probably 3 times already, and I'll probably watch it another 3 times. Let's get it in perspective, right? It was our day, and you could tell it was going to be our day from the beginning. Haaland had a shot within the first few minutes. Let's start in the beginning. 17 seconds, Basuma gets booked, right? And he played like a demon all game. Haaland had a shot in the first few minutes. Davis put it out for a corner. A little bit later, Haaland had a shot. Vicario saved it, right? We haven't been in their box the whole game. We go up, get in their box and score. I mean, if that's not telling you this is going to swing your way, I don't know what is. And even down to it brings Werner on in, what was it, the 89th minute? and he absolutely roasts Carl
Carl
Walker,
Walker.
one of the fastest guys in the Premier League, right? And sets up Brennan Johnson. Yesterday was our day. They hit the crossbar. Haaland hit the crossbar. Just everything went our way yesterday, and wasn't about luck. It was about how well we played. We deserved it. But let's be honest, things did go our way yesterday, and it was just a fantastic game. And it was a day that doesn't happen too many times in a season. You everything goes your way. Your players play brilliant. They can't put the ball in the net. It was just a beautiful, beautiful day for us Spurs fans. So we should enjoy it. There shouldn't be any divide in the fan base with this game. It should be all enjoyment. Every Spurs fan should be walking around with their head held high.
Yeah, I agree. I will say, you mentioned it briefly there, Basuma getting booked after 17 seconds, I think it was.
But then he played like a demon. I tell you what, if Basuma played like that every game, sorry, Kate, but if Basuma played like that every game, I mean, what a player when he's on it. Oh my God, he's unplayable. He was fantastic.
I had both my boys sitting in the room the whole game, was just perfect. Happy dad. Oh, that's lovely. Big up, Balpinda. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. Big up, Lisa says, hello, Kate and Jimbo. Happy Sunday. What a great Sunday to enjoy after such a glorious Spurs win. This is a political broadcast for the Kulu Defence League, says Benji. Big up, Steve RFC. What I was going to say is Basuma got a card after 17 seconds. We went 2-0 up, Jimbo, and I turned to you and I said, I can see how this is going. We're 2-0 up. We're in control. Basuma's going to get sent off. We're going to end up losing this 3 or 4-2. Now, to be fair to myself, we have, as Spurs fans, we have got PTSD in situations like this. You've only got to look at Brighton earlier in the season where we go 2-0 up, we're cruising, lose 3-2. But my God, that didn't happen. Thank the Lord.
And what did I say to you would happen?
I don't know.
I said to you, they'll come out and they'll be attacking us, trying to get back in the game, and we'll go and score a third. Well,
yeah, and you was right. Man City in a mess, 5 losses in a row. Still fantastic win for Wolves, regardless of City on a poor run. Big up Steve D. Had a few too many sherbets last night, but I hope you're feeling all right this morning. Big up Paddy says, Jim, you've still got people on YouTube and Twitter looking for excuses. My answer to them is fuck away and get some fresh air.
Look, I mean, it's at the end of the day, right? I tell people this all the time. At the end of the day, people can support the club however they want to support it. It's not for me. It's not for Kate. It's not for anyone to tell them how to do it. If they want to win 4-0, right? If we win 4-0 and they want to be miserable, let them be miserable. Who cares? You know, we're happy. We're the happy clappers. I'm the delusional happy clapper, and I love it, and I will never change.
Big up James Bond. Says Kate, Jimbo winning the league. Kate, don't ever try and change his mind. Lisa Davis, lovely to see you, darling. Said, just woke up. My favourite people are on. What a great result yesterday. I'm still buzzing. Love you loads. We love you too, Lisa. I know what you meant, Steve. Sorry. I spoke like that as I was expecting the same. My lads said, Dad, shut up. It's going to be a Spurs win easy. Wow.
Go on, your son.
Special shout out for Vicario. Yeah, I'm going to I think we'll do some player ratings today, Jimbo, and just give our thoughts on each player because it was such an impressive all-round performance. I think it's unfair to leave anyone out. Phil P says, with Kate's shocking takes and flip-flopping, should the Kulu Defence League defend Kate as well as Kulu?
I'll tell you what I'm going to say on Kulu, right? I'm going to say that anybody that looks at Kulu, right, and thinks this guy is not a top player, I don't know what. I think they need to go to the opticians because this guy, Kulu, he just proves week after week, you know, that he is just phenomenal. He has one bad game in 7 or 8 games. The guy is just absolute. He's strong. He's tricky. He's got that ball to Maddison for that first goal. That was just on a sixpence. I mean, what a player. What an absolute player this guy is.
I don't flip-flop. I'm allowed to have a few doubts. But as I said of Chris Cowling last night, Chris Cowling asked me, yes, mark it on your bingo card, Chris Cowling. asked me what I would say to those that are Ange out and the fans that really get on the back of the team and the managers and the this, that, the other. And I said, look, I think YouTube's made fans become pundits or want to be pundits, and sometimes you need to just support your club. And that's what we choose to do on this channel. And people might not like it. People could call us happy clappers, which I don't actually think is an insult. I'm quite happy to be a happy clapper. Some people say I'm negative, if you please. So I just think that being a fan when I was growing up was always it's tribal. You support your team no matter what. You lose 5-0 to Arsenal, you go to school the next day and you get loads of stick and you say, I don't care, we're still better than you. It's just how it is. I don't care if you get clipped. I mean, Jim never cares if he gets clipped. He'll say the quad's on till his dying day. But the difference is when I give score predictions, I'm not like Jim. I literally go with my head, not my heart. Whereas Jim tends to go with his heart. Although yesterday, Jimbo, or Friday, you did say your heart and your head were telling you that Tottenham were going to smash Manchester City.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think being a supporter of a football club, right, I'm not having a dig at anybody here, right? It's not, I don't like digging people out, but I think being a supporter of a football club, it's easy to support a team when you're winning like yesterday 4-0, right? It's when you lose to Ipswich 2-1 that it becomes hard to be a supporter, but that's when your team needs you the most. It's just the way it is. When your team's down, they need your support. And I think that's what being a supporter is, not hating them and coming down on them and coming down on the manager. Get behind them. I mean, look at them away fans yesterday, right? I don't know how many away fans there was there, but there was a lot. We watched some of the videos after Ben and Sim and people like that, and they go all that way up to Manchester City to watch them. After we lost 2-1 to Ipswich. Now, to me, you can't get a bigger fan than that. We lost 2-1 to Ipswich, and they're taking a chance of driving across the country to play Man City. And what a day that is.
Chris did his podcast in a back room at Manchester City. He'd been up there, he'd watched them. And you know what he said? He said, these fans don't know what it's like to lose and they can't accept losing. So when that second goal went in, he said the silence was deafening. And he said that after half time, the fans were trying to keep the team up. But once that third goal went in, he said that was it. It was done. It was so quiet. And of course, the fans were leaving quite early. There was a fire drill by all accounts. But big up Raymond the Gooner and also Aguna Matata. What's the matter? I don't know. What's the matter with you? My favourite line there from the Lion King. Steve RFC says, how do you see Southampton, Liverpool and Ipswich Man United and Newcastle, West Ham going? I mean, I've got our score predictions here. Man United, Southampton, Liverpool. Jim's gone 5-1 Liverpool. I've gone 3-1 Liverpool. Ipswich, Man United. Jim's gone 2-1 Ipswich. I've gone 3-2 United. And Newcastle, West Ham. Jimbo and I have both gone 3-1 to Newcastle. So that's where we go. Jimbo's buzzing. Big up the legend. He certainly is. He certainly is buzzing all over the place. Wow, I'm so behind in the chat.
Well, I'm going to tell you people that I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and what did I do? I put the game on. I watched the game again at 3 o'clock in the morning.
And we didn't go to sleep till 12-ish because we was watching fan reactions and stuff. So
I woke up and it come straight in my head. We just beat City 4-0, and I got up and watched the game again.
Big up Chang says, simply can't wait for tomorrow's show in 24 hours' time. Pretty sure I'll still be pumped and buzzing after work. I'll be damned if my new job holds me back. Big up Chang. Spurs needed that performance. Got to keep it going. Yeah, 100%. Guna says, I hate you Spurs, but making it easier for us real Gooners to understand that Pep can be beaten. Exactly. And he really can. Peter says, trust the process. Edwardson's there saying, come on, you Spurs. Name dropping again. Next up, when I was chatting to Mickey, Kulu is a monster, always gives 100% in any position. Jimbo's a bit like that. He always gives 100% in any position as well. Phil P saying Kulu for the third goal, most sexual thing since Prince died. R.I.P. Prince from the KDL. Facts, them days were good to see Tottenham cry at school. Trust me, I was bullied loads for being a Spurs fan. Everyone was Arsenal when I was younger. Edwardson says, I'm glad I'm not quite old enough to remember us losing 5-0 at home to Arsenal, though I do luckily remember us beating Arsenal 5-0 at home in '83 when Chris Hughton scored twice. Well, I was only 5. Benny says, whenever I predict a positive result, we lose. Whenever I predict a negative result, we win. This club is deliberately trying to piss me off. 2-2, winning the title was very good. Gooners wasn't even born them days. Yeah. What about that great Radu long ball to Decky that helped get that first Spurs goal? Radu played very well defensively alongside Ben Davis, and he also did well on the attacking. Yeah, I mean, like I say, we will get into the players shortly. All hail the away support, indeed. Fake 25-year-old and under on TikTok saying Arsenal are the best. Okay, mate, 21 years, we're still waiting. Yeah, I think a lot of the young fans, no disrespect, not all, they think that football started the day they were born. What's this on a Sunday? Big up everyone. Jimbo, you have humbled a lot of people, says Side Dancer. Indeed, he has.
Do you know what? I don't even. I'm going to be honest. It makes me smile because I was right, but it's not about that for me. It's about us winning 4-0 and all our Spurs fans being on a high, for a week until we play the next game.
Can I just say,
all our Spurs fans, we're buzzing.
We've got a special guest. Hang on 1 second. It's just who we are, mate. There we go. Bit of a cameo there from Ange Postecoglou. I don't know where he went, but wow. That picture of that dog, Merovingian, looks like my dog. Looks just like Jasper, that picture. Fulham will tell us all we need to know, so holding my joy till then. Big up, Anthony Clark. Good to see you. Weren't bottling yesterday. Jimbo's like a 9-year-old and I love it, says Phil. Facts, 4-0, mate. Pep can't be beaten. Exactly. Boris is here, says Pep has always been able to be beaten. It's just your clubs are bad. They can't beat them. Ricky Villa's goal against City in the 81 Cup final is what we want a repeat of. Yes, we do. Laugh out loud, Kate. I love your humour. Trust the process. Haha, we got a dog, Lemons, and we would never walk alone. Who played better at City, Spurs or Woolwich? Asking for some salty friends. I think it's easy to say the answer to that one. Hashtag Jimbo can do any position. I predicted a 2-2 draw, says Armin. And while we're capable of beating top teams like today's thrashing of Man City, sending Spurs fans wild, we're equally capable of losing to Fulham next game. Typical Spurs. I'm not going to put the Y on the end. Let's wait and see what occurs.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is what football's about, right? Some games, you like Ipswich. I love my food, and Leo and Kate went up and got their food, and I couldn't eat. I was sitting there with my head in my hands. I just was in disbelief that we were 2-0 down, and I just couldn't eat anything. But now look at this week, right? I could eat a cow this week. 4-0 against City. This is why I love football, and this is why I love Spurs, because they do that to us, But I just take it. I just love it when we would get games like today. I fucking love it. 4-0 against City.
Big up Eltelf, sending everyone over, and also big up Dicaro. Good to see you. I'm going to the Roma game, frontline KDL. Big up, Phil. We're not rivals anymore. What fans thinking these days is madness. Rinketix here says Ange train. Choo choo. Hi from Jose stream. Red Fox Lab Kate, my baby. Oh, it looks like we've got a Chiweenie, which is a Dachshund cross with a Chihuahua. And it looks just like that, doesn't it, Jimbo? Daniel Coys, sorry, saying never in doubt.
Well, Daniel.
Big up Daniel Sandoval, one love. Big up Mario, saying big up Kate and Jimbo, and big up Jimbo for putting us all in a spliff. What a result. Still can't quite believe it. Come on, you Spurs. He did. He rolled us all in a big fat spliff. Did you guys notice that Ange did tweak his system in the second half? The guys sat back a little bit, and that's how we were able to counter-attack and get more goals. I pray Ange does this more. I mean, I think it's safe to say he tweaked it, Jimbo.
Yeah, the thing is I said this many times. He's not an idiot, He's not won what he's won in football. He's been around football for longer than some people in this chat have been on the planet, right? So he's not an idiot, Kate. He's obviously a smart man. He's managed his country he was the first person to take his country to a World Cup. He was the first guy to win a trophy for his country. You know, so the man knows football. He's going to learn. It's his second season now in the Premier League. He's going to learn as he goes along, like the players are going to learn what he wants out of them. And it's just a matter of not pulling the trigger. It's getting behind him and getting behind the team and trusting in it.
Side answer saying his mum used to live in Ruskington, which is like we've been there 1,000 times. We go to the garden centre there regularly. We used to live in Sleaford. Ruskington from here is about 25 minutes, so know it very well. And her name's Kate, so she must be awesome as well. Yogi says there were a lot of little tweaks. Daniel Coy is saying Man City are Tottenham's bitches. I love it. We own Manchester. Yeah, Madders was back to his best. Happy birthday, Madders. Ashley says, I'm a gooner, but have to give Tottenham props for that. They absolutely smashed City on their own ground. Nothing but respect. Appreciate that. I think that's a decent thing. We do give Arsenal props when they deserve it as well on this channel. So that's appreciated, Ashley. Daniel Coy says, beat Man City more times in 3 weeks than Arsenal have in 10 years. Wow, that's a stat. And Fiona say, well done, Jim. What a performance. Anyone think you played, Jimbo?
I just love my club. You know what? I'm going to be buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. And even if we lose the next game, I'll still go back and watch this and buzz again. It was just such a performance. I tell you what, I've watched it, I think 3 times now. And we were absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. And there's not one person on that pitch, right, that never pulled their weight. And we need to see this every game. And the people that don't like Davis want to watch yesterday and see that this guy, he might be getting on a bit, but he's captain of his country for a reason. There's a reason he's the captain of Wales, because the guy can play football. Right, he might not be anywhere near the best footballer in the Premiership, but he's got a football head on his shoulders, and he showed that yesterday. Smart footballer.
Big up Thomasin, another gooner. Big up to you. Says, big up, guys. Should have been 7-0. As an Arsenal fan, I can't stand you guys, but you guys played well. And Ange brought on subs on time, unlike my manager who brings on subs late. He has been criticised for that quite a lot, Ange, for his in-game management, but I thought he was absolutely spot on yesterday with everything that he did. I mean, taking Son off, he took him off for me in exactly the right time. You could see he was tiring. He'd been excellent up until that point. Any criticisms of Ange from yesterday, Jimbo?
No. I got no criticism of no one yesterday. No criticisms of the fans. No criticism of Ange. No criticism of the player. No criticism of the ref. You know, we were just all round. The fans there were fantastic. His game plan was spot on. The players were fantastic. You cannot criticise a game like yesterday. I'm sorry, you can't. In my eyes, right, might be in some people's eyes. In my eyes, nothing can be criticised yesterday. We was perfectamundo.
Funny thing is, Jim, I've just realised that shirt is the shirt you wore when we went to see Everton. I don't think we've lost when you've worn that shirt. So, you know, I think you're going to have to wear that every game until we lose. Do we continue playing Dragusin and Davis when Romero and Van der Ven are fit? I can't see Ange putting them above those two, but it gives us the option. It's good to see 2-10 Tottenham. Big up, Kate Jim. Yesterday I started to watch the match. My TV started to smoke, was on fire. I looked behind, nothing. I look in front, it said 4-0. That Man City plastic started melting.
Yeah.
That could be a comment of the day. Exactly. It was great football. No VAR, no VAR, BS, no penalties, all clean goals and all brilliant goals as well. And yes, even Werner got an assist.
I'll tell you what. I don't know what Werner had for breakfast yesterday, but he absolutely roasted Walker.
He did.
Absolutely roasted him.
Yeah, but we know that he's got speed. We know that that's one of his big pluses, that he has got, you know, speed on his side. But let's do some player ratings, Jimbo, and talk about the individual performances. First of all, I mean, this guy for me was a perfect, not a perfect, that's not what I'm trying to say. This guy for me was another possible candidate for man of the match, if you ask me. I thought Vicario was excellent. What was your thoughts on our keeper?
Well, I just thought that he was fantastic because we could have been 1-0 down. He done a really good save against Haaland. I just thought he was phenomenal. Even later in the game, all right, James. Even later in the game, he had a one-on-one with Haaland, and he saved it with his right hand. He was pumped, and they wanted to win yesterday, and Vicario was for me fantastic. He was absolutely fantastic, and we know he's a good goalkeeper, and he does flap a bit at corners sometimes. But he's another one. He's only been here a season, and he's starting to bed in. All right, I love him. I wouldn't swap him for anyone. I love him.
Big up to Villa as well. So fair play, some giving City back. Fair play, some giving City battling was brilliant.
Do you know what, Kate? Vicario's passion is unbelievable as well.
I mean, for me, Vicario yesterday, that was probably his best 90 minutes for Tottenham. I thought he looked so controlled. He made that great save from Savino before the offside flag went up, but even so, still a wonderful save. I thought his ball distribution, which he's been criticised for quite a lot, was excellent. I mean, how many out of 10 you're giving Vicario?
10.
You're giving him a 10, really?
I'm giving him a 10, yeah.
You're going to give them all 10s, and that's not fun.
Why is it not fun? Well, I can give them what I like.
Some are better than others.
Oh, I'm giving Vicario 10.
Okay.
I'm not going to give them all 10, but I'm giving Vicario 10.
I'm going to give Vicario a 9.5 because in fact, I'm going to give him a 9. Please put in the chat what you're giving Vic out of 10 for his player ratings. Jimbo's going 10. I'm going 9. To be fair, the only thing that he did wrong, he dropped that early corner, which was a little bit nervy, but he pulled himself together before Haaland shot on 11 minutes, I think. Johnny Bethnal Green says, I've known Jim and Kate. Anyone want to come around and do my housework? I would if I was nearer, Johnny. I would. Jim better have that shirt on Sunday. Ben's giving Vicario a 10 as well.
Ben.
Drewler's giving him a 9. Fiona's giving him a 9. Carl Walker, never been a Tottenham legend for me. Good player, very good player, but not a legend. No. Cam's giving Vic a 10 as well. Sidar's is giving him an 8. Rinketic's giving him a 10. Mervyn Vinjian's giving him an 8. Designed to Win is giving him a 9. Potato Stew's giving him a 10. Oh, I love these scores though. It's so nice to see all Tottenham fans buzzing. Daniel Stanival's giving him a 9. To be honest, the worst back passing defence was from Son, so we better give them all 10s. Vicario an 8, says Ronnie. Tottenham NS is 9, but what I also liked was that I saw him get out and catch more balls. Yeah, because I remember saying on here that he can't catch a cold, but he really did sort of make his presence known. It was just a brilliant all-round performance from Vicario. Big up Shemtan says, good afternoon, Kate and Sir Jimbo. So nice to see you both today. Hope you're well after that unbelievable performance. Definitely feeling better. Walker's legendary at starting families. No matter how hard he tries, Pep's run out of spit. Oh, yeah, he didn't stop spitting, did he? Oh. 11 out of 10 says, Phil, stop being so negative, Jimbo. Armin gives him a 7. I don't want to get too carried away. He needs to improve in dealing with crosses and set pieces. Yeah, we are now.
Armin. Hang on, Armin. We're not judging them on
this season.
On this season, we're judging them on yesterday's game. Yeah. So if you want to change that, Armin, you're more than welcome to change it.
Vicario was great. I will say he's the 4th best keeper in the league after Edison, Alisson, and Martinez. Wow, that's high praise.
I agree with him as well.
My ex was good at catching stray balls, but she was a 6. I would say Nick Pope's got to be up there. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that today. Today's all about praising the players, not comparing them. So all in all, Vicario probably had an average of a 9 from the chat, which I think is fair. Next, I'm going to go to Destiny Doggy. He's had a lot of criticism of late, Jimbo. He's looked a little bit shaky at times. He obviously went off in the final minutes. I don't know whether he's got a serious knock or how bad it is. But, I mean, what did you make of your doggy's performance?
Well, I thought your doggy was very, very steady yesterday. He did what he had to do. He wasn't outstanding, but he was really steady. I thought he played really well. and he did what he needed to do. So I give your doggy a 9.
Wow, as high as a 9. Big up to Chrysandro, says he wasn't deluded. Neither was Jimbo. I think for Bruggen he's better than Martinez. And Princess Kate is legendary. On other podcasts she goes on, which is why she's always asked back. Ah, thank you, Shem. That's very sweet. Ben's giving Doggy a 10.
Benji.
I'm sensing a pattern here, Benji. I think he's been abducted by aliens. I've never known Eeyore to be so positive. I'm loving it. Armin wants to judge on the games he's played so far.
Okay, that's up to you, Armin.
Riketic's giving Udogi an 8. Meron Vinjian says 7, a massive step in development. Fiona says 7. Thomasin saying 10. Sidar's saying 8. Potato Stew saying 10. Udogi 7, says Ronnie. 8.5 says designed to win. I think Ben has joined the flip-flop squad like me. Yeah, everyone's welcome. 8 says Daniel. 11 says Phil.
Well, Phil.
We won 4-0, Jimbo. Why are you being so negative, mate? Benji, you still drinking that wine? We've got Dave the Irish Hotspur singing Big Ange Postecoglou song. Big up, Dave. Good to see you.
Dave.
What a win. Vicario 9, Udogi 7 says, I can never say it's Stehari. James says 8 for Udogi, 7 says Lisa. Shemtan says Ange out. Oops, that was last week. Ange in. This is what flip-flop is all about. You judge on what you see, and it's perfectly all right to flip-flop. You know, I'm sure Coover's bang on the Ange train this morning, and why not? We can only go by what we see week in, week out.
That's what football is. It is a flip-flop. Some weeks you're up, some weeks you're down. But this week, we've hit the ceiling.
Yeah. For me, what did you give Udogi, Jim?
9.
Yeah, I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was good. I hope he's not picked up anything too serious. Obviously, it might have just been tactical to take him off. But I thought it was a good performance from him and nice to see an improvement to what we've seen. Because like I say, he has looked shaky through some games this year, this season. But then we've got to go on to Mr. Ben Davies, Mr. Reliable. I mean, this guy... Jim, I'll let you gush about Davies before I crack on.
Look, Davies for me, right? He's getting on a bit, and I did at one time. I think earlier in the season, I think maybe we should have brought in another defender for him. And then he plays, and I watch him play, and I think to myself, this guy is a footballer. He knows football. He's got a football brain on his head. You know, he hasn't got the pace he had, so sometimes he does get caught out. Because he's obviously lost a yard or two, and he was never the quickest anyway. But he's got a football brain, right? And I'm gonna give Davies a 10 for yesterday because I thought that he was absolutely phenomenal, and he leads by example. So he is a leader. He leads by example, and I think he gets unwarranted stick from a lot of the fan base, right? He's captain of his country for a reason, Kate. You know, he's what Spurs should be about. The Spurs players should look up to him and think, I want to be like this guy. You know, never nothing off the pitch bad about him. You know,
no, he's the ultimate professional.
He's the ultimate professional, and he's Sonny's best mate for a reason.
Yeah, the way he conducts himself does remind me of Kane. I'm not going to lie. Obviously not the way he plays. I'm not saying that, but you never read anything really bad about him. When he's called upon, he always gives it 100%. He's very reliable, and he's been excellent for us this season. And I'm going to give him, you give him a 10, I'm going to give him a strong 9.5. Another massive contender for man of the match for me. He was the one that did the interception that started the break for the third goal. I thought I think him and Dragusin together were brilliant. I mean, Benny's saying 10. Side Dancer's saying 10. Potato Stew's saying 10. I think rather than a Kulu defence league, there needs to be a DDL for the Davies defence league because he does get a lot of stick, Davies.
Unwarranted stick as well.
Fiona says 9. Ronnie says 9. Ellie says, well done, Jimbo, for predicting the score. Impressive, say the least. I don't know where you predicted the score. You said 3-1.
No, I said 3-1, but someone in the chat said, you're going to lose 4-0. And I said, if anyone's going to lose 4-0, it's going to be City. It won't be us.
And we should have had a bet on it.
Hey, I don't need to win money to put me on a high. When I see Tottenham beat City 4-0, right, I feel like a fairy. I float.
Feel like a fairy. I never thought I'd hear you say that. Vinketic said 10. 7 says Merovingian. Davis 9. Daniel Sandoval says 8/9. Davis is an intelligent footballer. 9 says designed to win. Phil P says 11. What are we doing here, people?
Go on, Phil.
Let's re-sign him for 5 more years, says Vinketic. Driving my Hyundai or Hyundai, however you say it, says it's not about flip-flopping. It's about not coming out with stupid comments to suit an agenda. Be consistent and real. Exactly. Daniel Sandoval saying 9. Sonny's reverse pass to Madders for a second goal was sublime, and his flick to release Kulu for him to pass to Solanke that led to Porro's goal was brilliant. 10 for Davis, didn't put a foot wrong, says Queen Ellie. Jimbo, you should have said waking up to Kate is your lottery win. Yeah, you missed it there.
Look, people have asked me before, would I pick Kate or would I pick Spurs? And I would always pick Kate because she's my lifesaver. But Spurs are very, 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 very close.
Lisa says Ben Davis a definite 10. He was the leader of the back line and Dragoshin played much better alongside him. I like how he doesn't hesitate to send long balls down the pitch. Philomene! Jimbo has to dress as a fairy tomorrow. Maybe for the Christmas show, we'll get Jimbo dressed up as a fairy. Now, that would be funny. Again, Davis averaging, I would think, a good 9.5 there. So we've got to go on to his partner in crime, Radu, another one who I was openly critical of, saying that I'm not sure that he's ready. I'm not sure if he suits the system. I'm not sure of all sorts of things. After seeing him at the Ipswich game, I was very down on him as a player because I thought he was so poor. But wow, he proved me wrong. He hit that ball that set Porro away for the opening goal. Done some great interceptions. Jimbo, I mean, what's your thoughts on? I mean, you've got to remember he's only a young guy. What's your thoughts on
Well, I mean, we could be a bit critical of him for some games this season. There were some games that he did look out of his depth. I thought he was very bad in the Ipswich game, but I thought yesterday he never put a foot wrong. I mean, there was even one time that we was attacking and he was up at just past the halfway line, and one of their players was in front of him, and they won the ball back, and he went to run their player, and Dragusin just stood in front of him, and he ran into Dragusin, so he had no chance of getting away from him. Just little things like that I noticed. For me, he's a massive 10. I thought he was outstanding, and I didn't think he put a foot wrong. We kept a clean sheet. These guys should be getting 10s. I'm sorry, they should.
Well, I'll give him 9.5. Another contender for man of the match. This is how good we were. I can't remember the last time that we've watched a performance so complete where every single player is getting 9s, 10s. You know, it was just phenomenal. Before we carry on, I'm just going to remove us for 1 second. Just enjoy this picture for 1 second. Just to see Pep like that, it's just made my day. It's brilliant. Ellie said she would have given Udogie a 7. Ben's giving Radu a 10.
Go on, Ben.
Rinketic. An 8 says Ronnie. 10 says Potato Stew. An 8 for me. Huge performance for him, says Merovingian. Jimbo with angel wings and devil's horns. Yeah. Side Dancer says 8.5. Fiona says 9. The Dragon gets 8.5. Dragon gets 8 from Ellie. Says he's made a few early errors, but then made up for it the rest of the match. I don't actually remember him making errors. I'm not going to lie. I don't remember seeing him make errors, but maybe we were caught up in the euphoria of it all. Davis 9, Dragusin 9, Udogie 7, says Drew Lala. Daniel says Dragusin gets an 8. On his question, do Romero need to sit 1 or 2 out to get him straight back for fighting for his spot? Look, I think it's a nice dilemma for Ange to have. I'm not sure what he'll do, but I just think let's wait and see. But I think it's hard to displace Dragusin and Davis after that performance. I mean, whether their start against Roma, I'm not sure. Quite possibly. That Werner assist, that way he went past Walker, swore down he had beaten Ake and not Walker. I'm happy seeing Walker slow down. Yeah, he's lost so much pace. A bit like Gundogan, another one. Phil P saying 11. Best game dressed in lily white for Ben Davies. I think you're correct there, actually. Not Ben Davies, for Dragushin, sorry. Radu Dragushin a 10. He was much better, more consistent, excellent defensively, manhandling Haaland. He was also better being brave, sending the ball down the pitch.
Yeah.
That picture should be a Postecoglou with his hands in his pockets while Pep is looking at looking as his whole shirt is pulled over his face. So that's the dragon done. Next we've got little Pedro Porro. Again, I think I mentioned on the pre-match pump-up show that I was a bit concerned about Porro in defence with the likes of Foden, Savino, etc. But do you know what? He messed up at the beginning. Did a poor header back that could have cost us, but that Savino goal was offside anyway. Not that he scored. Sorry, that Savino shot was offside, but was better in the second half. Deserved his goal. Jimbo, what's your thoughts on? In fact, I'll give my rating first. I'm going to give Porro an 8 purely because he messed up at the beginning. Maybe 8.5, but 8.5. But he pulled his socks up. He didn't let him get him down. Didn't let his head drop, and then he scored a blinding goal as well. So 8.5 for me. What?
Well, I'm going to deduct half a point, right, for the back header, which nearly cost us a goal. But I'm going to add half a point for that defensive save he done right at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give him a 10.
Ben is saying 10 as well. 11 plus 1 for scoring, says Potato Stew. 9 says Driller. Ronnie giving him a 6.
No, he don't. He changes it, I think.
8, not 6. Sorry, I was going to say, interesting. Yeah. Rinketic says 23. Fiona says 8. Eva, big up to you, says big up Kate and Jim. What a great game yesterday. And Jim was right. We get a positive win always. Please, everyone, stop telling Jim he was right. Please. I've got to live with this geezer. Stop it. Porro 8. Side Dancer says 10. My second favourite Spurs player. Do you know what? I love Porro. I love his passion. I absolutely think he's a little pocket rocket. 11 says Phil P. What a goal. 8. And Luton Dan said, had Porro in my fantasy league. He got goal and a clean sheet. 10 and 10s for them all. 9 says Daniel. Porro gets an 8. He was better defensively because Ange allowed them to drop back a little, so Porro didn't get burned as usual. Jimbo Math. Phil, 11 heaven. Jim, you were right. Oh, stop. And Merovingian says an 8 for Porro. That's
you know what? Score. I'm waiting for that guy Nick that was giving me loads of stick.
The Man City fan.
Man City fans giving me loads of stick, saying to me, well, you could lose, but you're saying you're going to win.
Yeah. Oh, we got another special guest. Hey, my homies. 4-0 to Spurs. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, my homies. Oh, Leo for the Mile High Hotspur making an appearance on the channel. Big up, Leo. Loved your vlog. Make sure everyone goes over to Mile High Hotspur and check out the vlog. We've got Bob Everett, the Trophy Dodgers. Wow, what a performance. Stay humble, Haaland. You know what, Bob? You've been missed, but, you know, that was one epic performance. It was, that's what you call football, not anti-football. I remember on the terrace a few weeks ago, they were saying no one ever goes to City and goes at them and comes away with a win. Well, I think it's safe to say that we did. Jimbo, you were wrong. We only scored 4, not 5. You failed. How's that, Princess Kate? Thanks, Shem. I love that. Rule 1 of relationship, women are always right. Rule 2, women are never wrong. Correct, Benji. Leo. Yep, Leo, thanks for making an appearance on the show. Next up, we have got the big bad man, Basuma. Got a red card, got a yellow card in the first 17 seconds, I think it was, and I was ready to spit my dummy out and scream from the rooftops if he'd have got sent off and call him an idiot. But boy, did he prove me wrong. Jim, what's your thoughts on Biss?
Well, I tell you what, when you talk about flip flopping, right? This guy knows how to flip flop on the pitch. All right, Mr. Khan. I mean, when this guy's on it, I mean, what a player! If he kind of goes unnoticed in a lot of it, but when he's on it, he's unplayable for me. He wins the ball back against, like, there's three of them around him, and he comes out with the ball. He's just such a good player when he plays well, you know. And he had a good shot yesterday, which went over the bar. But I love Basuma when he's playing well. He's one of my favourite players. When he plays well, we play well, and that's just a fact. If he's on it, Spurs are on it. He is a big part of our team, and I love him. And I'm going to give Basuma a massive 10. I loved him yesterday. I've watched the game 3 times, right? And he mesmerises me at times with his football. Honestly, he's so strong, and he wins the ball back off. There's like 3 of them around him, and he comes out with it. And I think, how's he done that? I just love him. When he plays well, he is what Spurs is about.
The thing with Biss was I was worried that he'd get that yellow card and his game would change, but he didn't change his game, and he was excellent, but he showed a very mature performance, because obviously he could have easily picked up another yellow, but I thought he controlled the game without being reckless. I'm going to give Basuma a 9.
And you know one thing about Basuma? Sometimes I watch him, right, and I think to myself, he makes such wrong passes, right, in some games, but yesterday every pass he did was the right pass, and I when he's on it, he's on it.
Yeah.
He makes such a difference to us when he plays well.
Ben said 10. Ronnie says Biss 9. Great show after getting that yellow after seconds. Fiona says 9. Merovingian says 7. How do you say this name? Sahara says 8.5 for Biss. Shemtan says quickest yellow in Premier League history. You would get a trophy for that. Yeah, why not? Tottenham Internet says playing almost 90 minutes with a yellow, a 9. Yeah, I think that's fair. I feel like Strictly comes answer with all these numbers. I've got the opposite of Craig Revel Hallwood. You've got like that other guy, Bruno Tordione, used to be on it. Biscuits a 9 from Queen Ellie and from Lisa as well. Jim's just convinced me, 8.5. Merovingian's gone up. Phil, wow, an 11 for this one. That's nothing like a bit of consistency there, Phil. Drilla last is 9. He stepped up after Bentancur was out. It was a great display from Basuma. Yeah, 100%, and we needed that step up as well. Big up Cobber says, good day, Kate and Jimbo, 12s all round. Daniel Sandoval says a 9 for Biss. You can pronounce me Sayray.
Sayray.
Okay. I'll forget that in 10 seconds and go, how do you say it? But yeah, another contender for man of the match, a 9 performance, a 10 performance, whichever way you go. Joey Barton's here. Well, Joey. Didn't see that coming, did ya? Big up to you. We've also got Paul Pablo in the house. Big up to you. Moving along, another guy that goes unnoticed, who's a bit of a machine, but just does his job without really getting noticed, because he's effective. He does what he needs to do. He does everything that he's told to do, but because he doesn't make a song and dance out of it, we don't notice just how good this guy is. I mean, I thought he was brilliant yesterday. He plays like a player that's far older than he is. Jim, what's your thoughts on Papa Mate's superstar?
Well, he's a super engine. I know that, because he just doesn't stop running. And if you notice, when Sarr and Basuma play and they play well, we never lose. We win quite easily. They are them in midfield are so important for us when they're on it. And he gets a massive 10 from me, right? And in fact, I'm going to give him an 11. I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the match, he still run about 20 yards to clear the ball in the box. Right, and when what's his name? Who was the one they bought on? The ginger.
De Bruyne.
Yeah, and to take it off his foot. So I'm going to give him an 11. I thought Saar was immense, and he gets an extra point for me for right at the death, even running his heart out. What an engine that guy's got.
I was going to give him a 9, but you know what? I'm going to give him a 10. I'll tell you why. Because sometimes I think Saar plays as a midfielder and a defensive midfielder. It kind of covers all the positions in once, but because he does it so well, we don't really see it. I mean, he's not even been mentioned as a potential man in the match, but he's going to get my first 10 because I thought he was excellent. And he just does not stop running. He's like a lawnmower. Someone said to me they call him the lawnmower. He covers every blade of grass. And he's still so young. And I just think we've got an absolute baller in Saar. And it's only when he's not in the team that you notice what we miss. Drula's saying 9+1 for squaring up to Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, good Drula.
Rinketic's giving him a 10. Joey says 4 goals versus City from home and nothing for Solanke. Please don't diss Solanke. He was magnificent. We'll get on to him. 10 from Potato Stew and 8 from Ronnie. Big up to Nippon. Saar gets a 9. Daniel says he gets a 10. Yogi says Saar's the engine room and the reason we destroyed City and gives him a 10. We've learned yesterday the High Line does not work. I'll skip that point. Saar gets an 8. 8 again. Kid has it just like my wife, blows hot and cold. Ben says 10. I called it on your previous stream, Kate. 11. Yeah, a few people did say we'd win, to be fair, but I just couldn't see it. 11, Saar bringing the energy, very impressive. Tottenham says 10. Fiona says 9. City's aging players couldn't cope with our energy. We were electric going forward. Indeed. Such a good performance. It's impossible to say who our worst player was. That says it all. That's exactly what I said, Joey. Ellie, everyone has banged on about City's depth. Lisa gives Saar a 9. Big up, Nige. Says, big up, Kate, Jim and Chat. Much love. Great result. Now let's push on. We do look better playing counter-attack. Media all focusing on how bad City were when in reality we were miles better and for once got our tactics spot on. That's what I said at the beginning of the show. The agenda is always how bad City were, not how brilliant we were. Big up, Spud. Hope you're well. Yes, De Bruyne was such a sore loser, manhandling Pepe. Glad Saar got up and taught him who's the pupper. Again, Saar probably averaging a 9.5 or a 10. The scores have been off the charts, but then we've got to go on to birthday boy Madders. Scored the first 2 goals on his birthday. Probably the best performance I've ever seen from James Maddison in a Tottenham or a Leicester shirt, because you know I'm not his biggest fan at all, but I thought he was incredible. Jim, I'll let you go first on Maddison.
Well, he was phenomenal, I thought. He come back with a bang, didn't he? So it's done him a bit of good being subbed and being left out. So he come back and showed us what he can do. So for me, he gets a massive 10.
Yeah, I mean, both his goals were brilliant. The second one was, that little dink was just, absolute class.
But the thing is, you've got to remember, he had the pre-assist. Is that what they called it?
Yeah.
He picked the ball up, running past it to Son, run straight past Son. And Son dinked it to him, and he dinked it over. I mean, it was an absolute world-class goal. If you'd have seen Barcelona doing that, or you would have seen City doing that, you know, they'd be banging on about it. And so I'm going to bang on about it. It was a world-class goal. It was absolutely brilliant.
Even his first goal, his left-footed volley was magnificent, and you saw his confidence go up after the first goal, and then the second goal, and then it kind of like it felt like something lifted off his shoulders, and he just played the way he wanted to play, and I just thought he was magnificent, and I can totally understand why he got man of the match. I give Madders a 10 as well, which for
the
me
man of the match is hard, Kate. It's very hard. You give him a 10.
I'm giving him a 10. Yeah,
the man of the match was hard because you could have picked. I mean, you could have picked anyone on the pitch, practically, you know. So, but I give it to Madders for his work rate, getting in the right positions, the runs he did, and the 2 goals he scored. That's why I give it to him.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 10, which a 10 for me is like a 20 for Madders because I'm not his biggest fan. But he gets a big fat 10 for me and more of Madders because if he plays like that week in, week out, boy, have we got an incredible player on our hands. Benji's saying 10. Potato Stew saying 12. Ronnie's saying 10.
Ronnie, that's the first 10 I think Ronnie's given it.
Yeah, Fiona's saying 10. Ben says, that's why I always wanted Madders. He's got swagger. Exactly. And this is why we need to see it from Madders because he is, dare I say, unplayable when he's on this sort of form with that swagger. I just don't think anyone can handle him when he plays like that. Madders a 10 from Daniel Wow, a 25 from Rickettic because that's his England number, 11 from Phil says massive performance, huge credit to him for his overall game and his goals were amazing. Two Dance Soulful says Madders looked classy, more please Madders. Shemtown says when we don't invert win backs, he has the space to work his magic. A star. Big up Vindaloo says big up Jimbo and Kate. Just popped in to say well done. I knew you'd win. Everyone thought I was crazy. Madders and Kulu, great performances. I told you Sar was the glue. Peace. Catch you later. Enjoy. Big up Vindaloo. Hope to see you tomorrow. And yeah, Vindaloo will be cheering on Southampton today, obviously. Say Ray says 10 out of 10. Merovingian says 8. Again, the kid pisses me off too, Kate. Can't see past those shithouse games versus the Foxes. Has a bit yet to show that loyalty. Yeah, I agree, but that's more of that, and I'll be back on the Maddison train for sure. Eva gives Madders a 10. No sulking or excessive flopping, says Lisa. He actually acted more like a leader. Will he continue with the right attitude? Yesterday deserved a 10. I'm not a huge fan, but he earned a 10. This is what I said last night with Chris. I said for the first time, I think Madders showed why he's vice captain. I thought his leadership qualities on the pitch were exceptional. He led by example. He was directing players where to be. And as I said, that was a leader's performance from Madders yesterday. It was a potential captain's performance, but we need to see it more frequently. Joey says, no shot that without Romero, we look more like a team. Hate to say it, but I think, hate to say it, but think he brings his side down. Think he gets in players' ears, maybe even undermines Ange a bit. Interesting.
Do you know the thing, Joey? I think with what I don't like about Romero, right? I think that I've seen Romero play sometimes where he looks like one of the best defenders in the world, and then I've seen him play, he looks like one of the worst defenders. Right, but I think I don't like about Romero. I think he slows the game down too much, and that's not what we're about.
I've always said that.
Yeah, we're a team that like to move quick, and I think he slows it down, and I don't like that about him at all.
Arsene Lubin says it's either Madders or Decky. Both were a 10 out of 10. Tottenham says 10. Maddison had space to play, says designed to win. Yogi says Madders a 10, even when he was substituted off, he gave the double high five to Bergvall.
Yeah.
Maybe his time riding the bench did him some good, says Lisa.
I mean, when the game finished, he put his arm around Sonny, and a smile on Madders' face was like from ear to ear.
Yeah. Queen Ellie says Madders 10 trillion. He bossed the midfield on his birthday and made City's defence look like his cake crumbs. I'm not going overboard by saying Madders played like Gaza yesterday. That's how good he was. Wow, that is exceptionally high praise, but hard to disagree, Jimbo, because everything good came through Madders and he just bossed everything in that midfield.
Well, I'm one of his fans, you know that, Kate. I do make excuses for him sometimes, maybe when I shouldn't. But I know when we got him, before we got him, I kept saying to you he would fit into our team. But we need to see more of yesterday, and less of Ipswich.
Yeah.
So let's hope it continues.
Oh, trust me, Paul Pablo. We gave Davis his flowers. He got 10s all over the place. So we're going through the list. So if you're tuned in late, we've already done the defenders. We're currently on the midfield. Ellie said Walker looked distraught. We did that to our former player. Oh my God, Werner left him for dead too. Big up, Timo. I hope Ange sticks with Dragushin. Heard it here first. Romero to Real in Jan, not impossible. Joey Barton has been saying that for a season and a half. I agree with Joey about Romero, and I also agree with Jimbo about him because he does slow our attack down big time. Went unnoticed a bit, but Dragushin's ball up the field to Kulu for the Maddox goal was exceptional. Yeah, we touched on that. We did touch on that, Joey. Slowing the game down yesterday at points in the match served us well, but I get your point about Romero as he takes too long to pass the ball so many times. Yeah, I'm kind of sick of Romero at the minute. But anyway, let's go on to Deke. Another incredible performance. Even though he was on the right wing, which I was really, really worried about. But he crossed that ball in to Madders for the opening goal, involved in Spurs' third goal. If he'd have scored the goal that he had that Edison saved, I think he would have got man of the match over Maddison. He loves to play at the Etihad. That's why it's now called the Dekihad. He just absolutely loves to play at that stadium. Jim, get your thoughts on Dejan Kulusevski.
Well, he was on the wing, but he came into the middle as well, and he's another one for me. When he's on it, he's unplayable. I said this once before, and a lot of people laughed at me. It just reminds me of the ginger nut for them when he's on it. He gets stuck in. Yeah, he gets stuck in. His passing's good. You know, he takes it past players like they're not there. He just brushes them off. He's so strong. I love Kulu. I love him. And even when he was having a bad patch and when people were putting him down, I stuck by him. And I said that we'd be a worse team without him. I don't know if you remember me saying that, Kate.
I did, because I was one of the ones who said...
Yeah, and I've always said that without Kulu, we won't be the same team.
And I remember saying that there was a place for Kulu, but it wasn't on the wing. And then when we moved him to the middle, I said, I never want to see him on the wing again. And yet he was on the wing yesterday, and he was fantastic. Now, I don't know if that's because his game's matured or whether it's because his confidence is high or what, but he's incredible.
I think that his game's, I think it's a bit of both. I think his game's matured, and I think he's got a lot more confidence now. So
I've heard people say that he's overrated and they don't understand why people are hyping him up. I mean, I don't know what they're watching because he has been sensational this season.
Well, all I can say about comments like that is don't read them, don't listen to them because they mean nothing. Let it go over your head because the guy is a real good footballer. He is a top footballer and he makes our team much, much better without any doubt. So for me, he gets a massive, big, fat, massive, huge, big, fat, giant 10.
And I'm going to say the words I never thought I'd say a few months ago. I'm going to say Kulu gets a massive 10 out of 10 from me as well. And Roddy says Kulu gets a 10. Yogi gives him 12 out of 10. Potato Stew gives him 10. Ben gives him 10 million before spamming Kulu Defence League all the way down my chat. Daniel Sandoval gives him a 10. Shay Ray gives him 10 out of 10 man of the match performance. Fiona gives him a 10. Rinketic says 9 plus 10 equals 21 because Phil P is negative and only gives out 11s. 9 for me, says Merovingian. Kulu was playing a really interesting position. It was a hybrid right wing midfield thing going on. Jimbo should talk about it. This is what I did say that at the pump up that I expect him to play a fluid, more of a fluid position where he moves into different positions rather than down the wing, and I think that's what he did.
I'd like to know how many times he won the ball back yesterday.
I haven't got the stats. I was going to get him up for tomorrow's show actually, but if anyone knows,
he has got an engine on him as well. That guy.
Yeah, and he's a big fella. I mean, when you see him play at the stadium, he's a massive fella, but he's got speed and. Yeah, Donovan says I called it. Don't cry, Kate love. Sorry, I've still got my cold. Shut up, Joey. Decky says,
What did Joey say?
Get on to Solanke so I could criticise. Queen Ellie says Decky 10 trillion. They put in a stunning performance. He certainly loves playing up in Manchester. Now do that every week. That's all we ask as he makes our team tick. To be fair, he's been epic most weeks. He's had a couple of off weeks. Kulu makes me laugh. Kid looks like that lad in the 90s asking if you'd buy him a bottle of MD 2020.
Who's that?
No, just some like a kid that hang about asking if you buy him some booze.
Oh, right.
Decky was a perfect 10 for me, says Lisa. What a Spurs workhorse. He was all over the pitch, helping defensively, holding up the ball, making excellent passes. He was sublime. I wish he got a goal. Yeah, me too. That journalist that slagged him off when we bought him must cringe every game, says Joey. I thought KDL was killed Daniel Lee. Kulu is this team's Dembele. Yeah,
Yes.
do you know what, Ben? I think that's fair to say. I think he's certainly earning that title. Next, we're going to Joey's favourite player, Dominic Solanke. Without a goal again this game.
But he got an assist.
Got an assist, forced Edison into a first half save from the edge of the box. Didn't stop running. Got the assist as he pulled the ball back for Porro's goal. Put Kulu away for a chance midway through the second half. The thing I would say about Solanke's performance and his role in the Tottenham team at the moment is he's very unselfish. He's a striker, but he doesn't mind that he's not scoring goals. He's just helping the team, wants to win the balls, wants to do the assists, etc. I mean,
look, you've gone quiet. Have you gone to mute?
That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I leant on the button.
Look, not this is for Joey Barton, right? Joey, this is for you. Because you're the problem when it comes to Solanke. Not only will he get 15 goals this season, and you'll be putting your little money into the pot, right? The guy is an absolute workhorse. He works for this team like every single game. His work rate is unbelievable. Now, football's a team game. It's not an individual game. So if the goals come from all over the pitch, who cares? As long as we win. You know, it doesn't matter if he doesn't score, as long as someone's scoring and we're winning 4-0 against Shitty, right? And he plays his heart out for this club, and he's back in midfield fighting. He defends, he holds the ball up well, brings other people into play. So for me, Solanke gets a massive, big fat 10. He was phenomenal yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give Solanke a 9. Purely because he didn't score and just because I can't give 10s everywhere, but I thought he was excellent. It's hard actually because I'm edgy towards a 10, but no, I'm going to stay with a 9. He's just such an unselfish player, and he's what Tottenham need. He's so strong going forward. He is like a chihuahua. He wants that ball all the time, and he wants to get it back all the time. I mean, he did run his arse off. Ben gives him a 10. Donovan gives him a 7.8. 7 from Ronnie. Kingdom. Fiona gives him an 8. Daniel gives him a 9. I've gone too far in the chat. Solanke 10 was the bus driver, says Yogi.
Yeah.
Ray says an 8. Merovingian says 6. Didn't score. That's his job. Oh, that's harsh. Because yes, it's his job, but he's also a team player and he set up the goals. And I do agree with this. Played the wrong ball to Kulu when Sonny would have been in. There is that, but that's about the only thing he done wrong, to be fair. So yeah, I'm still sticking my 9. Solanke 8. It was good, old-fashioned centre forward play. 10 looks very happy playing. Ange's dream player. Didn't score, easy money, says Joey Barton. Donovan says, bang on, his link-up play is crucial against these high-press physical teams. The way he constantly runs at their backline pressing, setting the tempo of the press. Yeah. 9 says Eva. Lumen's here, says big up and congrats. Thank you, Lumen. Always appreciated. I'm going to watch the game back in a second, says Benji. 11, the workhorse up top. Jim, I have a lad at work that goes all day. Kid will clean a fault with a toothbrush, but will never be a fucking roofer. Look, at the end of the day, the goals will come. I'm not worried about the goals. Man City, we made them. Joey says, look, I make no bones about it. I don't rate him based on his scoring alone, but his work rate was very good. Hold up, okay. Yes, very good. But goals, he's wank. Sorry. I really...
Yeah, but the thing is, Joey, right? he's not a Kane. He's not. He's not going to score like Kane, right? But it's about football's about teamwork, about the team working together. Like City rely on Haaland a lot to score goals, right? We don't rely on anybody because we get goals from all over the pitch, from defenders up to midfielders, up to strikers, and I think that's better to have that than have one player that scores the goals. If Haaland gets injured, right? I'm not saying that City are effed, but they've got to rely on other people where we get them all over the place already. So we're not relying on one player to score. So by a player not scoring goals for me, like Solanke, it's not the end of the world because he works so hard for the team and he brings other people into play and he pulls people away so other people can score. And I just think that we're, as a team, when we play like we did yesterday, right, we're unstoppable. It's like a locomotive train. We yesterday, it was phenomenal yesterday, and Solanke was brilliant, but didn't score. But so what? We won 4-0. That's all that matters.
Lisa says, great Solanke lesson, Jimbo. I agree 100%. He's a 10 for me. He gives his all from start to finish, and he's unselfish, which is huge. What a team player. I love this guy.
But he's still got an assist, Kate.
Yeah, he did. Mr. M says, Asuakoto 4, Wenger out. I'm going to watch the game at least 6 times today, says Benji. We go on a run now, no excuses. We play with that commitment and show our true colours every single match, says Ellie. Come on, you Spurs, says Mr. M. He's not Kane, he's not even Vardy. Joey, I think you're being very harsh, and I think you'll end up eating your words. I like Solanke. He may be a striker and won't hit the 20-goal mark, but he has a hell of a work ethic. Team comes first every time.
He is, right, for me, what this team needs. We need a Solanke in this team, right?
Yeah.
I'm still convinced he'll score 15 goals this season, right? I'm convinced of it. He scored 6 already, and we're how many games? 11 games
12.
into the season? 12.
12.
So there's 38 games in the season. I still think he'll score 15. And for me, he is what Spurs should be about. Everything about Solanke is what, for me, Spurs should be about. Works hard, he's unselfish, brings people into play, holds the ball up. You know, they're scared of him up front, Kate. You can see they're scared of him. You know, he gets that ball and someone crosses him a ball from like 20 yards. He stops it. There's no bouncing off of him. He holds it up. I love him. Honestly, he's exactly what this team need. I won't have a bad word said against him. I love him.
Got another special guest. Leo. Hey, homies. Big up, everyone. 4-0 to Spurs at Man City. Come on, you Spurs. Thanks, Leo, coming in. Say hello. Leo.
Leo.
I agree, Jim, but he's a striker, was bought as a striker. Everyone sat here dribbling about him being the striker we needed. He's not a striker. He's only 12 games in.
Yeah, but I'm still dribbling about him because of the way he plays for our team. And he makes our team a much, much better team, Joey. And if it's not him scoring, if it's Johnson scoring or Sonny scoring or Madders or Kulu, who cares? He's part of that group, right, that help us get them goals. And that's the important thing.
Yeah. Finally, for the starters, we've got Sonny. I thought Sonny was excellent yesterday. He nearly scored another brilliant curling shot. One of them is going to go in very, very soon. Played a reverse ball into the path of Madders for his goal. So linked up with Kulu in the build-up for the third goal. Came off, I think, after about an hour or so, which was exactly the right time to bring him off because you could see that he was tired and we've got to manage his minutes. Excellent. No, I'm giving Sonny a 9 out of 10 because, again, I thought he was part of everything that was brilliant and he looked back to his best. Jim, what's your thoughts on Sonny? Oh, and I will say, I think it was a very good captain's performance as well from Sonny.
Yeah, I thought Sonny was very, very good. I really enjoyed watching him yesterday. And if you watch that shot that he had, he just got his fingertips to it. It was like inches. Otherwise, that would have been the goal of the match. Yeah, it was lovely to see him back, and I think that Ange is managing him really, really well because Sonny's like in his 30s now, and he's played for his country. He's captain for his country, so he does play a lot of games in the season. So I think Ange is managing him well, bringing him off during games. You know, when we're winning, and I give him a massive, big, fat,
10.
10.
Ben's agreeing with you and giving him a 10. 10 always, says Eva. Sonny gets a 9 from Fiona. 10 from Yogi Bear. Joey says, I agree with you, Jimbo. All I'm saying is he's not the great goal scorer people like to think he is. I think we need to judge him at the end of the season and possibly the end of the following season about his goal scoring ability, because he has only been here for 12 games. Let's be fair. But what he's brought to the team, excluding the goals, has been better than I thought so far.
If he gets us, Joey, look, put that our better side, right? If he gets us between 10 and 15 goals a season, right, with everybody else chipping in like they're chipping in, right, now that's a proper team for me. Not just one, but like before we used to rely on Sonny and Kane. We don't have to rely on one person up front or two people up front now. So if he chips in with 10 to 15 goals a season, which it looks like he's going to get, right, at least that, because he's on 6 already. And then we've chopped it off with him with the way he plays and with his work rate and the way he plays for the team. So with everyone else chipping in, that's enough, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Ben says if Dom gets us 25 goal contributions this season, I'm delighted. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I mean, if you look at the assists he's had as well, you know, it makes a massive difference as well. I don't care he's not prolific like Kane, because he brings something else to this team. As long as he does get us, he contributes, which he is doing.
Yeah, his stats are terrible because he gets a lot of assists before the assists. Okay, I'll work out another bet for next season, says Joey. Let's do the subs, might as well. Timo Werner came on, absolutely roasted Carl Walker to set up Johnson for his goal. Must be confidence boosting for the lad. I know he was literally only on for a few minutes, but we can only judge by the few minutes he was on. Jimbo, what do you make of Werner?
Well, he come on and all of a sudden I just see him. And do you know what the funny thing was, Kate? The ball went across the pitch to Werner, and one of City's players, the ball went by him and he pulled back. I don't know if he thought it was one of his players on the other side of the pitch. If you watch it, he was on like the centre circle there, the City player, and he pulled away from the ball and let it go to Werner. I bet he got some stick off his boss for that. And then the rest is history. I mean, all I saw was smoke and fire coming out behind him.
It was like Roadrunner.
Yeah, I thought we'd bought Roadrunner. I mean, his little legs. He's only got little legs as well, and they go like 100 miles an hour. His legs were going. Can I give him a 10 for that one performance? Do you know what? I'm with Yogi. I'm going to give him a 10 for the roast. For roasting Walker, right, like he did, and putting it on a plate for Werner, for BJ, I'm going to give him a 10.
Everyone's giving him a 10, except Phil's giving him 11. So sod it. I'm going to give him a 10 as well, just because I'm proud of him as well for shaking off the criticism and coming on and making such an impact. That's all you can ask for a sub, is them to come on and make an impact, and that's exactly what he did, as long with Brennan Johnson, who was on the end of the roast, who benefited by scoring the goal. Jimbo, what this is Cam, we're doing player ratings. We're just on the subs now. You can only obviously give what you think for the subs for the time they're on. 7.5, 10, 7 for Sonny, 7 for Werner, 9, says Daniel. Werner 9. In the English Premier League, Solanke played 10 games, scored 4, 2 assists. Werner 9. Johnson 7, 11 super sub. Right, Johnson, Jim, obviously scored the goal. Only on for a few minutes. What are you
Do you know
giving him?
what? Right, I look at Johnson. His smile melts me. He's got such a lovely smile. He's a young kid, right? And his smile would light up a room. I love Johnson. I love everything about him as a person, as a player. He's come on leaps and bounds. He took so much stick off a lot of the fan base when he's only just come to us, and he left Forest to come to Tottenham. There's a big move with a big price tag, and I think that he's come on leaps and bounds. For me, he's the most improved player since Ange's been here. I just love Johnson, and I'm going to give Johnson a massive, big fat 10 for his goal and his smile after he scored. But the funny thing was, when he scored and he ran off, Bergvall jumped on his back, but all the other players went to Werner.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right.
there's nothing I don't like about Johnson. I like everything about him as a person and a player.
He did hit the post as well. I know he was offside, but look, all we can ask when you get a sub on is them to make an impact, and you can't have any more of an impact than scoring a goal. So for that reason, I've got to give him a 10 as well. And I'm with you. I feel so proud of the guy. He's Ben's got a good point. He could be playing as a striker. He's not a great footballer, but fantastic finisher when you need him. He's gone through to the real ringer at this club. People abusing him and being vile. And just big up to Brennan Johnson. Big up Winketti. Enjoy your day. Afternoon, Jose.
Jose.
Yeah, you're right. Werner didn't even look up. He just knew where Johnson was going to be. It was brilliant. I met Brennan once. Very nice bloke. Another guy that came on was Jed Spence. Always good to see Jed. I know he wasn't on again, not on for a lengthy amount of time. Replaced you, Doggy, but great to see him come on. I don't think you can really score him. I don't know. It was late, but he done nothing wrong. Come on and did a decent job. I've deleted the banner of Spence. Silly Mo. Jim, anything you want to say about Spence?
Well, I kind of feel sorry for him because he's just got back. He got back, and then he got injured, and so I kind of feel sorry for him. But I'm going to give him a 10. I'll tell you why I'm going to give him a 10 for just sticking with all the shit that he took at this club. When he was bought by Conte and he stayed with us, he's worked hard and he's worked his way back in with Ange. Come back, played a couple of games really, really well, and then got injured and he come back on the pitch yesterday. Didn't really do a lot, but I'm going to give him a 10 for all what I said.
Yeah, I'm going to give him 11 for the celebrations. I'd have given him a 9. He done well, and I agree he's overcome some crap as well. Conte coming out openly and saying he's a club signing, and he's come back from that. And every time he's called upon, he's given a performance. So big up Jed Spence. Hope to see more of him for the rest of the season.
We will now that he's back.
Also, Lucas Bergvall came on and made the interception that set Spurs up for the final goal. So for Bergvall, I'm giving him a 10 because, again, if you make a contribution that leads to a goal or score a goal, you can't ask any more from a sub. So Bergvall, for me, big criticised. There'd be talk of him going on loan, but I'm giving him a 10. I don't know about you, Jimbo.
Well, I'm going to give him a 10 for the interception that set up the goal, plus the jump on Johnson's back. That was magnificent. It was like a kangaroo. So he gets a bit extra for that from me.
Big up to El Dante for the super chat. Says Jim knew. Full credit. What a win. Come on, you Spurs.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your support as always. 9 for Spence. Big up, Ren. Lovely to see you. 10 from Ben. I've never known 10s from Ben's all the way down. Spence 9 for the few minutes he was on the pitch. I hope he is put on the Europa roster in January. He's talented and we need him. Plus, when he has played, he's done well. I don't actually think it can change till February, they're saying, the roster for the Europa League. But either way, I hope he gets put on. And Bergvall a 10. Last but by no means least, we've got the man, Mr. Postecoglou, the guy that doesn't win away from home, the guy that plays suicidal football, the guy that's, is who we are, mate, the guy that can't manage in-game can't do in-game management. The guy who doesn't adapt. Jimbo, what are we giving Big Ange?
Well, everybody knows my feelings on Ange. I love Ange. I love his football. I love the way he's changing this club, the mentality of this club. And we've had some bad games. I'm not going to sit here and polish it all. But you know what? We're in a transition period. You know, one season wasn't enough, and it takes more than a season. The history of the Premiership has shown you that with managers starting as far back as Sir Alex, you know, up till now with managers, it takes more than a season, and he's given us some absolutely phenomenal days like yesterday. When was the last day we had a day like yesterday? You know, a long time ago.
Ajax, the last time I felt like that.
Yeah. It was nice beating Villa 4-0, and it was nice beating Wet Spam 4-1. But that yesterday was up there with some of the most buzzing days I've had supporting this club. It never won us a cup, but it was a buzz to beat the best club in the world at their home ground, 4-0. They haven't lost there for 52 days since
52 games.
52 games. What was it, 2001 or 2002 or something?
2022.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
2002.
No, 2022 or 2021. I mean, look, I'm getting excited. So, I mean, yesterday was an absolute. I haven't had a buzz like that, I don't think, since the first time you and me had sex. Honestly, it was just, I was on an absolute high. Like, I couldn't believe yesterday. It was just gorgeous to watch. I loved it. And everyone's going to say we're deluded in here for the scores we've given people, other people that are going to watch this stream. And they're going to say that we're happy clappers. And fuck it. I'm a deluded happy clapper, right? Because watching us, the mighty Tottenham Hotspur, beat the best club in the world 4-0 on their home ground when they haven't lost for 52 games there, and everybody, not everybody, but all the other outside of Spurs, a lot of the outside of Spurs saying we had no chance, right? We beat them 4-0. Absolutely smashed them. And because of this man, he's a massive part of it. So for me, he gets 100 out of 10.
Well, I'm going to give him 10. I thought he was perfect. And I know that a lot of people say that it wasn't a free hit, but that the pressure was on City. I disagree. I think Ange Postecoglou was under massive pressure for that game because we've already lost as many as we've won. And the performance that he got out of that team was magnificent. And now he needs to work and find a way to get that performance out of the team week in, week out. I mean, it has to be on the players as well. But I thought the way he tweaked his tactics, the way he made the subs, the way he laid the team out, I thought it was magnificent, flawless. So he gets a big fat 10 from me. Yogi says, hands in your pockets, 10. 14 says Potato Stew. 11 for Ange. 1882 for Postecoglou. He's our future. I love that, says El Dante. 10 for Ange. Ben's scores are rigged. Bergvall 9. Werner will beat Bolt in a race. Ange in 10. Merovingian says 8. Spurs King says, can we count that as a win against the top 10? I don't know. You'd have to ask.
Oh, that's the comment of the day for me.
You'd have to ask the adjudicators. I don't know.
That's an absolute brilliant comment.
10 for Ange, says Daniel. 10 for Ange, says Barney. 10 for Ange. Oh, no, 100 for Ange, says Drew La La. Ange 10, he got it all right. So hopefully we'll continue to make small tweaks that can help these players get over the line and win more consistently. FYI, 27 goals, 9 scorers. Yeah, that ain't a bad record, is it? Jimbo, hashtag family friendly. Yes, Jimbo, don't be rude. Honestly, when we're at it, we've scored 9 in a Premier League match this season. Oh, sweet Jesus, Jimbo. It's you talking about sex again. Steve D says, whether you're Ange in or Ange out, if you're not giving Ange a 10, you've eaten too much jelly, says Steve D. I know all these people call me a fake fan, but this football club means absolutely everything to me and brought me through some tough times. Yesterday is everything I want from my team. Yeah, Benji, I think we all know, we all want that for our team. If we get, imagine if we could get that week in, week out, we would be an absolutely incredible team because
Well, I
we've
think
shown.
if we give him time, we will get that week in, week out.
He's got one hand in his pocket, the other one is patting Pep's bald head. I love that song. Obviously not those words, but if people want to watch the Pump Up show, a measured pre-match prediction came true. Yes, indeed. The Maha always rigged. There's going to be a mini baby boom. 10 for Ange 9.999999 recurring. I think it's hard to give him anything but a 10. He didn't do anything wrong in my eyes. An interesting point was made by Darren Lewis from the Mirror on Sky Sports this morning. He said Pep has always accused in the past, he always accused Tottenham of being a one-man team and calling us the Harry Kane team. And yet, here they are. Are they the...
Exactly. They lose Rodri, right? Are they a one-man team? Pep called us a one-man team more than once.
Yeah. Jay Ashraf says, Kate and Jimbo, great win, but we've beaten them under previous managers. Ange needs to keep the same personnel and set up for the next few games. I appreciate that we have beaten them under managers, but we've never put in a performance like that at their home ground, ever, under anyone. City are the Rodri team, says El Dante. Look, it was just an excellent all-round performance.
If you can't be happy, Kate, when we've just beat City 4-0, if you're a Tottenham fan, and then football's not for you. So there isn't a football fan on this planet that supports Tottenham Hotspur this morning shouldn't be waking up with a smile on their. Every one of them should be waking up with a smile on their face.
I think we've got to remember as well, after the first 10, 15 minutes, City looked like they could be back, like they could end up battering us. They were all over us. And yet we literally went on the counter-attack, scored, and then we just controlled the game from that minute onwards. If City are in the top 10 and had 11 players too, and it's away, does the win really count? I don't know. Again, I'd have to consult the adjudicators. Independent adjudicators say, hold on a second, let me get the answer. Hell yes, it counts, they said. I'm not sure everyone will agree. But look, we just had to do a stream today. Obviously, we're going to be back in at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
And I'll be banging on about it again tomorrow. You can guarantee that.
Premier League recap. Also, we're on tonight at 8 o'clock over on Spurs Diehards with Ian Meth, Adrian,
and I'll be banging
AJ.
on about it over there at 8 o'clock tonight as well. You can guarantee that.
But Jimbo felt the need to not vent, but to celebrate live on air.
It's not about venting. It's not about. It's just about enjoying. You beat City 4-0 at their home. Oh my God, who does that? Have they ever lost 4-0?
No, it's Pep's biggest loss. Sorry.
Yeah, and Tottenham, the mighty Tottenham Hotspur, did it. We did that. We beat them 4-0 at their home ground. How many games haven't they lost for? 52?
52.
From what year haven't they lost from?
2022.
And Tottenham win and beat them 4-0 convincingly. No luck, no penalties, no VAR decisions. We went and smashed them to pieces. If you can't enjoy that, oh my God, there's something wrong in the world.
This is seemingly the most congested league for about 20 years. It's so hard for anyone to be consistent. I mean, there is truth in that. Anyone can beat anyone on their day. You look at Nottingham Forest, they beat Liverpool at Anfield, but then they lost yesterday. You know, it is a very difficult league. And someone said earlier, Tottenham have never been the most consistent team. And I think that's fair to say. That obviously we have had consistent seasons, but a lot of the time it is up and down like Tower Bridge. And that's why we love the team that we do. Fiona says 10 for Jimbo. Phil P says everyone is invited to the Kulu Defence League Christmas do, date and venue to be arranged.
I'm there.
Jim can talk about it all year after predicting it. Shows us all we have to have full belief, full support, and always know that we are Tottenham, super Tottenham. We are Tottenham from the lane. Yes. Love that, El Dante. Very, very true. Tottenham NS says never with 4 difference. last loss was their 2-5 from Leicester in 2021. Yeah, Pep's never had a loss 4-0. I mean, it is a phenomenal result that will, people will stop and go, "What is that right? Has there been a typo there?" Because it was so unexpected by the majority of people. Obviously,
And the
not
thing
Jim.
is, Kate, it's not just the win. It's to beat them 4-0 at their place. It's the manner of the win. The
Yeah,
way we played was was just sublime. We played some unbelievable football. You know, the tackling, the goals, the defending, the all round. Because it wasn't all one way traffic. They did have their chances, and we defended fantastic with what people would say is our second defence. Right,
yep, 100%.
and they had so many of their players back. It was just an all-round fantastic performance and an all-round fantastic day for Tottenham Hotspur supporters. It was a day to savour and enjoy. If you love this club, right, you've got to enjoy what happened yesterday. You've got to, and the quad is on again. It's back on. Not that to me it was ever off. But if you support this club and you love this club, right, what happened yesterday should put you on another planet because it was just absolutely to me off the scale football, which I will never ever ever get sick of watching.
It's who we are, mate. It's who we are, mate. Um, um, no, it wasn't a typo. It actually happened because we wanted it and our players made it happen. Yes, indeed. Rocktat says the thing that made me laugh was when we beat them in the cup. People were saying Man City B team,
Yeah,
but we destroyed their A team. Yeah, and they were saying, "Oh, Pep didn't really want to win." Well, I think you'll find he definitely wanted to win yesterday, and he got spanked. They are our bitches. We own Manchester. And not only that, we've been to both clubs away in Manchester and kept clean sheets in both. And yet, apparently, we don't keep clean sheets. So it's just incredible. Glitches in the matrix all over the place. But yes, as I said, Jimbo and I will be live tonight at 8 p.m. with EMF, AJ, and I think Adrian on Spurs Diehards. And then we'll be back here tomorrow at noon with Nick and Chang for the Premier League recap. And then don't forget on Wednesday at 12 o'clock, we have a special mental health stream. No football at all. Although I'm sure someone will mention this game because it is making all our mental health better. But it will just be a chance. A few people have said they'd like to come on and share their stories or just people that are lonely at this time of year or whatever. It's just a chilled stream, just addressing the mental health issues that people are suffering at the moment, me included. Just a stream about being there for one another, particularly with Christmas coming because it is a sad time for a lot of people. So make sure that you join us for that. Ellie says we did it without our A team. Yeah, here's Kuva. I told you. I said I bet Kuva's driving the Ange train today. Big up, Kuvs. But I've just got to do this just for you, Kuva. If I can find it. There we go. Let's get out of that. Let's go down here. This is just for you, Kuva Bear. Kuva, the king of the flip-flops. That's why we love you. Thank you, everyone, for your time today. Sharing my smile with you has been a lot of fun. Come on, you Spurs. Always good to share a smile.
yeah. Do you know what, Kate? Just going on to the mental health stream, right? This is what like a game like yesterday, because there's a lot of people, that are on their own or have got problems or money problems or health problems, and they support Tottenham and they watch that game yesterday, and it makes a lot of things in their life better. Even if it's only for the weekend, if it's only for 4 or 5 days, a game like yesterday puts a smile on people's faces that maybe are not smiling so much. So that's important. So thank you for the players and for Ange for that. And it is important because they support Tottenham, but they still got problems in their lives.
Yeah.
A game like yesterday makes it that little bit brighter.
Yeah.
So Tottenham, we love you.
Exactly. But yeah, please do join us for that special stream. It'd just be a nice chilled. You could tell your story, you can watch, you can do whatever you want. It's just yeah, just something a little bit different because it's, like I say, it can be a very lonely time of year and it's a tight time of year for money and there's loads of things going on. And, you know, me and Coover speak regularly about our own aches and pains and health issues. And it's just to say that there's always someone ready to listen and to be there for you. So as well as the football streams, do, if you feel like it, join us for the Wednesday stream special. And, you know, if you want to come on, you're more than welcome as well. Spot on, Jimbo. Hold the phones. Is that a woo? Not a woo from Coover. Yeah, he's back on the woo train. You're right, Jimbo. The game that put a smile on my face when I'm having a tough weekend. Exactly, yeah. And that's what football should be about. We're also concerned with being pundits. We are fans, and you know, if you cannot bask in the glory of a 4-0 win, then maybe competitive sport and football is not for you. Because that was a buzz like no other. But Jimbo, thank you to everyone, first of all, for watching. We've had a great crowd in all day. If you haven't smashed a like, please do. Big thank you to El Dante for the super chat. Join us tonight at 8, Spurs Die Hard, and then tomorrow at noon on here. Jim, do you want to end the show as only you can?
Well, I mean, I think I've said it all, but just stick with your club. You know, we had a bad loss against Palace. We had a bad loss against Ipswich. But then we come out and we beat the champions, the best team in the world, 4-0 at their ground. Don't come down on Tottenham. Be behind them. It's easy to support a club when they're winning. Support them when they're losing as well. This is our club. You know, he's our manager for however long he's here, and they're our players when they pulled his shirt off. Love Tottenham Hotspur because they are our love. I love this club with every fibre in my body. Support them, get behind them and love them. And just remember, we beat fucking City 4-0 in their ground. No team on the planet has ever done that under Pep except Tottenham Hotspur. We are the greatest team on this planet without any shadow of a doubt.
How are you, Spurs?
Come on, you fucking Spurs.
Giving opinions with no regret. Smashing the top bins. Back in the onion net. Talking the talk with Kate and Jim. And walking the walk, just listen in. The perfect match. Kate and Jim. Getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter. Mix and transfer news, it's what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jimbo always keeps a positive spin while Kate's Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like Lenny stop robbing, or she's just flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match.